Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying to the city of Bandung in Indonesia to explore a house with a sinister reputation and a truly bizarre legend attached to it. This isn't just any haunted house story. This is a tale of dark rituals, family secrets, and a terrifying supernatural entity unlike any you've seen before. We're delving into the chilling story of the 2014 Indonesian horror film Rama Gurita, also known as the Octopus House. It's a story that asks a terrifying question. What if the house you moved into wasn't just haunted by ghosts, but by a curse tied to the very land it was built on? A curse that manifests as a monstrous otherworldly octopus demon. Otherworldly octoputes, worldly, otherworldly, to worldly, slightly, uncrissedly, wordly said, get unworldly, lalet to said, to be casco, to be so we could be I libus kisked, blated I, bitly, I could sit, tit, I, tlicus, get a skit, I to love, tek, ok, the dice, gluts, got to patik, iPad, blah, wukata, da ask, what, the bad, of a pub, ever, the tell, built bay, what said. Get ready, because this is the story of a young woman who stumbled into a nightmare she couldn't escape. This is the cursed house of Bandung and its terrifying octopus demon. Our story begins with Selena, a young woman whose life is far from perfect. She's an orphan, living with her brother and his wife, but the atmosphere is thick with tension. Selena possesses a third eye, a supernatural gift that allows her to see spirits and entities from another realm. This ability, however, is not a blessing but a curse that has isolated her, branding her as strange and unsettling to those around her. Her sister-in-law, in particular, views her with suspicion and fear, making their home an unbearable place for Selena. Desperate for a change and a sense of belonging, Selena decides to move to Bandung to continue her studies, hoping a new city will bring a fresh start. She moves into a large old house owned by a family friend, a place famous, or rather, infamous, in the local neighborhood. It's known as Rama Gurita, the octopus house, named for the giant, menacing octopus statue perched ominously on its roof. From the moment she steps inside, Selena feels an oppressive energy blanketing the house. The locals whisper stories about it, calling it cursed and warning people to stay away. They speak of strange lights, unsettling noises, and a history soaked in darkness. Selena, ever the rationalist despite her supernatural sensitivities, tries to dismiss their warnings as mere folklore. She's determined to make this new chapter of her life work, to prove to herself and her family that she can be independent and normal. However, the house has other plans. The very first night, the unsettling feeling she had upon arrival intensifies. She's plagued by horrifying visions and nightmares that feel terrifyingly real. The house seems to breathe around her, its shadows moving with a life of their own. It's in these moments of terror that the true horror of the octopus house begins to reveal itself. Selena sees flashes of a monstrous, shadowy figure, giant octopus demon with writhing tentacles and a malevolent presence that seems to ooze from the walls. These visions are not fleeting glimpses. They are immersive and visceral. She sees dark, occult rituals being performed within the house's walls by figures in cloaks. Chants echo in a language she doesn't understand, and the air grows heavy with the scent of incense and something far more sinister. The central figure in these visions is the giant octopus demon, an entity that seems to be both worshipped and feared by the cultists. It's a being of immense power, summoned from the depths of some dark dimension to bestow favor upon its followers. As the visions become more frequent and intense, they start to bleed into her waking life. She hears disembodied whispers slithering through the hallways. Doors slam shut on their own, and objects move without explanation. The giant octopus statue on the roof seems to mock her, its stone eyes appearing to follow her every move. Selena's initial resolve to ignore the house's reputation begins to crumble. She can no longer deny that something is profoundly wrong. This isn't just a haunted house. It's a place saturated with a dark, ancient power, and that power is now focused entirely on her. She feels a constant, oppressive presence, as if she's being watched by an unseen intelligence, its unseen tentacles wrapping around her mind, trying to pull her into madness. Desperate for answers and terrified for her sanity, Selena begins to investigate the history of the house. Her search for the truth is a lonely one. Her attempts to find companionship at her new university are met with mixed results. She meets a young man named Rio, who seems kind and understanding, but even he is skeptical of her claims. To everyone else, she is just the strange girl from the cursed house. Her investigation leads her down a rabbit hole of local legends and forgotten history. She learns that the house was built on land that was once considered sacred, a site for ancient rituals long before the city of Bandung expanded around it. The original owner of the house was the leader of a satanic cult that worshipped a sea demon, the very octopus entity from her visions. The cult believed this demon, which they called Garita, was a powerful being that could grant wealth, power, and long life in exchange for sacrifices. They performed unspeakable rites within the house, using its very foundations as a conduit to channel the demon's energy. Selena discovers that the curse isn't just on the house itself, it's intrinsically tied to the land. The ground is poisoned by the dark magic that was practiced there for generations. The rituals created a permanent tear in the veil between worlds, a gateway through which the octopus demon could exert its influence. The house, and especially the statue on its roof, acts as an anchor, tethering the demon to the physical plane. This explains why the entity's presence is so strong and why its power has not waned over the years. As Selena digs deeper, she uncovers an even more horrifying truth. The cult didn't just perform abstract rituals, they required human sacrifices. The demon demanded a periodic offering to sustain its power and maintain its connection to the world. The victims were often outsiders, people who wouldn't be missed, lured to the house under false pretenses. Selena realizes with dawning horror that the curse has a cycle. It lies dormant for a time, waiting for a new, vulnerable soul to occupy the house, someone isolated, someone with a sensitivity to the supernatural, someone exactly like her. Her third eye, the very thing that has made her an outcast her whole life, is what makes her the perfect conduit for the demon's power and its ideal next victim. The realization sends a shockwave of terror through Selena. She isn't just a resident in a haunted house. She has been chosen. The visions she's been experiencing aren't just echoes of the past. They are a warning and a preparation. The octopus demon is trying to break her down, to weaken her spirit and make her susceptible to its influence. The entity wants to possess her, to use her body as its new vessel to continue its reign of terror. Her life is no longer her own. She is a pawn in a terrifying game that began centuries before she was born. The curse of the land has claimed many victims, and she is next in line. The house isn't just trying to scare her away, it's trying to trap her, to consume her soul and make her a permanent part of its dark legacy. With this horrifying knowledge, the final act of Selena's ordeal begins. The supernatural activity in the house escalates to a terrifying crescendo. The octopus demon is no longer content with just showing her visions. It begins to manifest physically. Shadowy tentacles snake out from the corners of rooms. The floorboards seem to ripple as if she were standing on the surface of a dark ocean, and the entire house groans under the weight of the entity's power. Selena is trapped in a waking nightmare. She knows she has to fight back, but she doesn't know how. How do you fight a curse embedded in the earth? How do you defeat a demon from another dimension? Her only hope lies in uncovering the secret to breaking the curse. Her research revealed that while the cultists worshipped the demon, there were also those who sought to contain it. She finds cryptic references to a counter-ritual, a way to sever the demon's connection to the land and banish it back to its own realm. The final confrontation takes place during a powerful thunderstorm, as if the natural world itself is reacting to the supernatural battle about to unfold. Selena, armed with her newfound knowledge and a desperate will to survive, must face the Garita demon in the heart of its power, the basement of the house where the original rituals were performed. As the demon fully manifests, a grotesque and colossal being of writhing tentacles and pure malevolence, Selena must use her own spiritual sensitivity, not as a weakness, but as a weapon. She confronts the entity, not with physical force, but with spiritual strength, challenging its hold on the house and on her. The battle is a brutal one, fought on a psychic and spiritual plane, but in the end, Selena manages to complete the banishing ritual. The demon shrieks in fury as its connection to the house is severed, and it is violently pulled back through the portal which seals shut behind it. As dawn breaks, the house is finally silent. The oppressive atmosphere has lifted, and for the first time since she arrived, Selena can breathe. The curse of the octopus house is broken. And so, our story comes to a close. Selena, having faced down a literal demon from the depths and survived, is a changed woman. She has not only broken a centuries-old curse, but has also come to terms with her own abilities, turning what she once saw as a curse into a source of strength. The tale of Rama Garita. Asterisk serves as a potent piece of Indonesian horror, weaving together local folklore, satanic cults, and a truly unique monster to create a story of isolation and empowerment. It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest horrors are not the ones that go bump in the night, but the ones that are tied to the very ground beneath our feet. Ancient curses waiting for the right person to come along. It's a chilling thought that the place you call home might have a history you could never imagine, and that you might be the key to its next terrifying chapter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time for another dive into the darkest corners of cinema.